Good morning, Belfont family and friends. I am excited to have the opportunity to be here with you this morning to share just a little bit now that we're in National Women's History Month during the month of March. So, this morning, I'd like to share with you a little about the role of women of color in the women's suffrage movement. During the 19th and 20th centuries, Black women played an active role in the struggle for universal suffrage. They participated in political meetings and organized political societies. African Americans were women attended political conventions at their local churches where they planned strategies to gain the right to vote. In the late 1800s, more Black women worked for churches, newspapers, secondary schools, and colleges, which gave them a larger platform for their ideas. Black women are less remembered for their vital contributions in the struggle for women to gain the right to vote, but they played an important role in getting the 15th and the 19th Amendments passed. In Boston, Black reformers such as Josephine St. Pierre Ruffin and Charlotte Fortune Gurmick founded the National Association of Colored Women in 1896. During their meetings at the Charles Street Meeting House, members discussed ways of obtaining civil rights and women's suffrage. The NACW's motto, Lifting as We Climb, reflected the organization's goal to uplift the status of Black women. In 1913, Ida B. Wells founded the Alpha Suffrage Club of Chicago. The nation's first Black women's club focused specifically on suffrage. Because of their unique position, Black women tended to focus on human rights and universal suffrage rather than suffrage solely for African Americans or for women. Many Black suffragists weighed in on the debate over the 15th Amendment, which would enfranchise Black men but not Black women. Sojourner Truth argued that Black women would continue to face discrimination and prejudice unless their voices were uplifted like those of Black men. After the 19th Amendment was ratified in 1920, Black women voted in elections and held political offices. Even though many states passed laws that discriminated against African Americans and limited their freedoms, Black women continued to fight for their rights. Throughout history, strong African American women served in many roles. Leaders such as Mary McLeod Bethune, who was an educator and a political advisor, formed the National Council of Negro Women in 1935 to pursue civil rights. Tens of thousands of African American women worked over several decades to secure suffrage, which occurred when the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was passed. This act represented more than a century of work by Black women to make voting and other civil rights easier and more equitable for all. I hope that you learn just a little bit about the role of Black women during the women's suffrage movement that still reflects in the political society and roles that we have in our political arena today. It was my pleasure to be with you. You have a blessed rest of the day, and thank you very much.